Okay guys, today I'm going to show you my fail-proof method for propagating Hoya Linearis in a very quick little video. So a lot of times I see in the groups or the forums, like Reddit, things like that, how do I propagate the Linearis? People struggle with it. It seems to be kind of a trickier plant. And I seem to, I don't know, maybe have cracked the code, but I just figured out what works for me. And I've probably propagated maybe 50 Hoya Linearis in the time that I've had mine. So these are the current propagations that I have. You can see they're all taking off pretty well. So I wanted to show you, that I do know how to propagate the Hoya Linearis. I didn't want to get my mother plant out. She's looking kind of short because I've propagated so much. So I'm going to show you how I propagate the Hoya Linearis. Let's start by talking about the medium that I propagate in and grow in. If you noticed, I have these all planted in regular soil, and I will just propagate directly into that soil. I do add a little bit of extra perlite in there, and I've done this for years, and I mean, these have only been propagated for a couple of weeks and they grow super fast. So I have just the regular potting soil that our nursery has. I put all my plants in this. I did a video about why I plant strictly in potting soil, and I can link that below so you can see it. But let's go ahead and get started. So first is the way that I cut the Hoya in order to propagate it. So if you look here, I have some, I feel like those influencers, look at this. I have 2 node sections, okay? And right now I just took 4 2-node sections here on this little mat, on this little paper towel. So if you can see those, I don't know if you can. 2-node sections, okay? And then I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the pot. Okay. All right, so we have our pot, and what we're gonna do with these cuttings is we're gonna stick them into the soil just past that first set of leaves, okay? And the leaves are gonna be buried just a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and stick them in just past that first set of leaves. They're sticky because I just cut them. Okay, so we're going to stick them in directly into the soil. And if you can see all these other ones, they're kind of, buried in that soil. Okay, and then, so I want to make sure those 2 bottom leaves are kind of like nestled in the soil. And then I'm going to water it really lightly, kind of even just barely on top of each little stem. Okay, because we don't want them to rot. And then all I do is I put it in a really sunny spot. I have a, what do you call it? Like a film on one of my windows that gets direct light, and I'll put it right in that windowsill so it's not getting direct light, but it's getting pretty much a lot of light. So that you want to give it a lot of light, whether that's a grow light or, really good light. I think that's key. And then once it dries out, once that top little layer dries out, you can see these are really dry. Once this top section dries out, I'm just going to kind of baste it every day. I'm just going to go whoop, and I'm going to kind of go, and then as the days go on, I might go a little bit more of a circumference and diameter around each plant, but I'm really just kind of watering on each stem. And then once I see new growth coming out, or I'll do like a little tug test, but I usually wait until I see new growth coming out, then I'll be a little bit more generous with the watering on top. And then when I have a mature plant like these that are growing, I will still kind of just baste them almost every day. These are small pots, so they dry out really fast. But I'll just kind of keep lightly watering them. And then to maintain the mature Hoya, this particular Hoya, I don't let dry out. I keep it basically damp all the time. What did you need? It's my little doggy, you can hear his toenails. So I'll keep this plant damp all the time. I maybe will let it dry out once, and not even as deeply as you would let a regular Hoya dry out, and then I'll soak it, and then I'll go back to keeping it damp. So I kind of water mine all the time just because I'm here and I can. If I were to go on vacation, I would soak it and then I would take it away from the window so that it's not, consuming as much water. Because the only time I've really had problems with this plant is when it gets dry. And I know we love that about Hoyas is that they can get really dry, like your Hoya carnosa, you can like forget about it. Pubicalyx, you can forget about it. They do great. This one you need to keep damp. So damp doesn't mean, soaking wet. It's not going to like that. It's just very, very lightly moist. Sorry, I said that word. So that's basically how I propagate this plant. I've propagated tons of them in the lifetime I've had this plant, maybe 5 years, and I'll sell them or give them away. So I love it. Once it gets growing, it's super fast. It's also going to be a really easy bloomer. It blooms fairly easily and it blooms a lot, and they smell really good. They smell sort of citrusy. So yeah, that's just the quick rundown of how to propagate this, how I've had success time and time again, and what potting medium I use, etc., etc. So I hope that was quick and concise for you, and I hope that you have success in propagating your Linearis.